And Morata, you better take your chances this time. Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my preview of the first leg of the Carabao Cup Semi Final against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge, with the kickoff being at 8 PM UK time, obviously tomorrow evening. And starting it off by talking about opposition, Arsenal, as I usually do. And well, there isn't much to say that I didn't already say in my preview ahead of the league game against them last week. I mean, you can check that out if you click that card. Obviously, they played in the FA Cup since then, like we did obviously, but they lost 4-2 away at Nottingham Forest. They rotated their team a fair bit, but it's obviously still a shock defeat. As obviously the game against each other was a draw, the point difference between the two teams is still at 7 points. Chelsea being in third on 46 points and Arsenal being in sixth with 39 points. But Arsenal still do have a lot of injuries to deal with. The players that missed the game against us are still out injured. Those are Monreal, Giroud, Ramsey, Kolasinac and Koscielny. And also both the central midfielder Granit Xhaka and also the centre-back Shkodran Mustafi are doubts and are facing late fitness tests. Depending on how seriously Wenger takes the competition though, I reckon they will play, similar to how Ozil was a doubt ahead of the league game against us, had a late fitness test to face and ended up starting the game. I think that's going to be similar if Wenger really wants to win the competition. If it's like, it's just the League Cup kind of thing, he will probably not start them. As there was a lot of rotation by Arsenal against Forest, I expect them to feel pretty much their strongest team available. Of course, last week they went with a 3-4-3, or 3-4-2-1 formation, while we went with a 3-5-2 or 3-5-1-1. So I'm expect them to do so again. They usually go with a 3 at the back when the opposition usually plays 3 at the back as well. That's really it about Arsenal. Like I said most things about them last week in the preview before the league game anyway. But now getting to Antonio Conte's press conference. And Conte confirmed that tomorrow's game is too soon for Ross Barkley to feature. But Conte is pleased with his physical condition, but he still needs to work on it. But he also did say that it just takes time to understand our idea of football. But Barkley is showing an incredible will and commitment to work hard, according to the boss himself. If you didn't know, this game will include the video assisted referee. Obviously, there will be 2 separate referees set in a room and looking at stuff on, screens and whatnot, and, make difficult decisions if the referee isn't all too sure, if they just intervene. I'm not sure how exactly it works in England, to be honest. Conte said he thinks it's a good opportunity to improve the game, and because none of us want big mistakes in the game, and we can reduce those with obviously the video assisted referee, but only if it's done right. Conte said in Italy, although in a different way, it has been used since the start of the season. It was a little bit difficult at the beginning to, get used to, basically, what Conte said anyway. But he thinks generally it's actually quite good. And I mean, I personally agree with him. I think if it's done right, not the exact way that they do it in England, I think there has to be a lot of changes done to it to make it right, in my opinion. But if it is done right, I think it can be a great tool to just improve the game, because we complain so much about massive refereeing decisions. Arsenal fans complain about the penalty the Bellerin gave away. We complain about Jack Wilshere's dive in the league game last week. With a video-assisted referee, in theory, those decisions shouldn't happen. Obviously, I still think the Hazard penalty, even though it was a soft penalty, is a penalty. But the dive is certainly a dive, and there's no doubt about it, and you should have been sent off with a second yellow for that. So, if those kind of decisions can be gotten right rather than wrong, which a lot of the time does happen in England, I think it's good. Coming to team news, Hazard was carrying a small calf problem for the game against Norwich, but Conte said now he is in good physical condition and ready for the game tomorrow. And also, we have no other injury concerns, which obviously compared to what Arsenal are going through at the moment is great. They are facing a lot of injuries, have some doubts as well, but everyone seems to be fit and available for us, which is great. With obviously the exception of Ross Barkley, who is, not injured anymore, but not 100% fit physically yet to play games, and hasn't really been in training for long enough to really understand how Conte wants them to play and, understand his teammates and that kind of thing. Conte said the last game between the two clubs was very exciting, and he also expects the game tomorrow to be very open because both teams will want to attack and win. The boss said during this season we have used the Carabao Cup to do some rotation and give chances to players that don't play as regularly, but we still feel as strong teams and got to the semi-final while facing 2 Premier League clubs along the way in Everton and Bournemouth. This game is another opportunity to rotate, he said, compared to the last game. But he also reiterated that we want to win and reach the final of the competition. That was really it from the press conference, and now coming to Chelsea and how I think Conte will line up tomorrow, or how I think the team should line up. Maybe that differs. And I'm not really sure what Conte will go for this one, to be honest. He said it's an opportunity to rotate, but from the game against Norwich, and in that Cahill and Bakayoko were the only players that also started against Arsenal last week. So I think Conte will field a very strong team, if not the best team we have. Last time, I was sure Conte would go 3-5-2, and I was right, even though I myself would have preferred to go 3-4-3. But you could say we easily played well enough to beat Arsenal. The only reason we didn't, and we have to be honest about this, was Morata not taking his massive chances. So from that point of view, why wouldn't Conte go for the same thing again? Because if we take our chances, if we play the same way we did last time, we are easily good enough to beat them. You could obviously change it up just to, you know, mix it up against Arsenal as well, because they might know better now how we're going to play. There's a lot of ways to think about this. I would still go 3-4-3 with Danny Drinkwater and Conte in the centre of midfield with Willian on the right wing. But I think Conte will again go with the 3-5-2 or 3-5-1-1. And also I actually think he will go for the exact same players that started against Arsenal last week. With Courtois in goal, Azpilicueta, Andreas Christensen and Gary Cahill as the 3 centre-backs, Victor Moses and Marcos Alonso as the 2 wing-backs, N'Golo Kante, Timur Bakayoko and Cesc Fabregas as the 3 centre midfielders, with Eden Hazard in behind Morata up front. I would prefer Danny Drinkwater instead of Bakayoko in there. Drinkwater seems more disciplined to me and definitely is a better passer of the ball, even though his passing wasn't great against Norwich. But we'll have to wait and see what Conte decides to go for in the end. And really, like I already said ahead of the league game against them, if we are defensively solid and take our chances, we should really get the win. Hopefully it doesn't need another heroic performance by Courtois, but if it does, hopefully he can deliver again. And Morata, you better take your chances this time. You better take your chances this time, or even more Chelsea fans will turn on you. I was very angry with him last week, but I still think and I'm confident that he will come good for us. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but there are fans, and not just a few, that have turned on him already and want him gone. So it's time to prove those people wrong, Alvaro. We still believe in you, so please repay that trust with some goals tomorrow. I don't know, I just have that feeling that he will take his chances tomorrow. I don't know, I just have that feeling. I don't really know why, but I do. So my score prediction is a 3-1 home win to Chelsea. I would love a clean sheet, even more so because it's obviously the first leg of a 2-legged, semi-final. And obviously with the away goal rule, a clean sheet would be even more helpful. But that really is it from me. Leave me all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. Leave me your predicted lineup. Do you think Conte will do some rotation from the standard starting 11? Or do you think he will go with the best team we have, obviously after rotating against Norwich? Leave all of that down in the comment section below, as well as your score predictions. Also leave a like if you did enjoy the video, that'd be class if you could. And don't forget to check out my social media, which is Last1507. As you can see over here, it's Last1507 on both Instagram and Twitter. We would like to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of January. We know it's going to be tough, but if you could help us achieve that, that'd be incredible. So if you haven't already, click the button up there to subscribe. Just click it and you can subscribe. We'd massively appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea. I'm buzzing for the game tomorrow. And I'll see you next time.